Hello everybody, I'm Brett and welcome to Nightwood Guns. You have heard of the caliber wars. Today, let's get elbow deep up into some capacity wars. You've heard politicians talk about it, and I'm sure you've heard some FUD lore at gun stores. But does capacity really matter when it comes to self-defense? Or is just carrying any old gun good enough? But before we get into that, I have some super exciting news that I am so happy to share with you guys. I'm launching my second short novel today, September 22nd, 2021. It is called Countdown to Dawn, and it absolutely kicks ass. It is the sequel to Armed Instinct, and if you are watching this on launch day, you can get Armed Instinct for free, and you can pick up Countdown to Dawn for only 99 cents. As people in the gun community and the 2A community, let's stop giving money to people that hate us and want to take our guns away from us, and let's start putting our money where our mouths are. If you're watching this after launch day, I welcome you to still check out my books. I have gone from making hundreds of dollars to pennies from YouTube. So if you want to support the channel and you want to support somebody who's pro 2A trying to crack into the entertainment industry, I would appreciate it if you'd buy a copy of my books. Now that I've shared that news with you, let's go ahead and hop right into our topic. Some people carry 5 rounds of 38 Special every day. Some people carry 8 rounds of 45 ACP a day. You might run into people carrying 7 rounds of 380 in their pocket, or 6 rounds of 357 Magnum. And then you have a big old chunk of people that are carrying 10, 12, 15 rounds of 9mm every day. So what's the right answer, and is there even one? Well, there was a new study done by Professor William English, PhD at Georgetown University that was titled the National Firearms Survey. Now, according to all of the people who admitted to owning firearms in this survey, 1/3 of them said that they have used their firearm in self-defense. Now, if that number seems huge, I'm about to make it make a little more sense. In most cases, about 82% of the time a firearm was used in self-defense, it was not even fired. If that's the case, you would mostly be prepared for most self-defense encounters with just an unloaded gun. So, cut and dry, right? No, because you still have 18% of those cases where somebody had to discharge a firearm in self-defense. Now the question is, how many rounds does it take to adequately defend yourself? Well, could be 1, could be 100. It depends on the situation. Now when you are looking at stopping somebody from doing what they're doing with a bullet, there are 3 types of stops. There's a psychological stop where they get shot and they're like, oh no, I've been shot, and they stop doing what they're doing. There's a central nervous system shot where you hit somebody in the brain and that shuts them down instantly. And then there is a bleed out, which is you pump enough holes in them that they lose blood and pass out or just get too weak and stop doing what they're doing. Now we have seen plenty of cases. If you go over to the Active Self-Protection channel and you start clicking around, you'll see an employee or an owner of a gun store use a 1911 that is single stack and only holds 8 rounds, plug and put down an armed robber very easily with only a couple of well-placed shots. Then, of course, you can run across this story, which is why one cop carries 145 rounds of ammo on him. This police officer shot a murderous assailant 14 times with God's caliber of 45 ACP, 6 of those rounds in vital areas, before the guy finally stopped attacking him. What is the right answer to, does capacity matter? The answer is, it's probably not going to matter. But if it does, you're gonna wish you had more ammo. Just pulling out 5 shots of 38 Special and pointing it at somebody is probably going to make them stop doing what they're doing. But what if it doesn't? Okay, then you shoot them. 5 times a 38 Special. That will probably stop them from doing what they're doing. But then we run into, what if there are multiple attackers? What if the guy eats 14 rounds of 45 ACP and doesn't go down? Talk about shot placement. Well, this police officer had excellent shot placement with 6 rounds. Now imagine if that was the guy who was trying to rob you to get some more PCP. You could argue that there's probably like an 80% chance that this is going to do it. But my question is, in today's world where there are so many small offerings in a full-powered load like 9mm, such as the P365 XL and the P365, the Hellcat, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, and on and on and on, why wouldn't you take a gun with a higher capacity? Most people who carry something like this, they just want to put something in their pocket and forget about it. Well, now there are ways to carry 11 rounds of 9mm in your pocket. Unless, of course, you are wearing skinny jeans. Now these days, depending on the situation, I find myself prominently carrying 2 firearms for the most part. The first one is the SIG P365 XL when I really need to be concealed or if I'm wearing a tight-fitting shirt or whatever, and it holds 12+1 in a flush fit magazine and 15 rounds in the Stendo. But most days I am carrying the Staccato C2 with a 16-round magazine for 17 rounds in the gun and 20 rounds in a spare magazine. Now with 17 rounds in the gun, I am prepared for any of those really horrible situations where a guy won't go down after 14 shots, or you have an active shooter situation and you're trying to get a hit around body armor, and you will still be prepared for the exact same thing that this would be good enough for. So my argument is, why neuter yourself with less rounds when it's not completely necessary? Now, if you think that's paranoid thinking and you're still okay with 5 shots of 38 special, or 7 rounds of 380, or even 7 rounds of 9mm in something like a Glock 43, then by all means do not let me stop you from carrying that. Because remember, 82% of successful defensive usages of firearms happen without even firing a single shot. That doesn't even take into account the ones that were stopped with even firing a single shot. I myself prefer to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But when it comes to politicians trying to tell you you don't need more than 10 rounds to defend yourself, or somebody like me suggesting that you should have 31 rounds of 300 blackout at the ready, what gun you carry and how many rounds you choose to carry in it is completely a personal choice. It is up to you, and it is nobody else's business. Don't forget to check out my brand new book, Countdown to Dawn, and the original Armed Instinct in the link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment something nice. I'm Brett, and this was Nightwood Guns. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Nightwood out.